So on our trip to Brazil, we stopped at Rio de Janeiro. We were hosted by Thomas Case. He treated us to a Samba show that was to die for, and a trip to CORCOVADO, the Christ statue on top of the mountain. And this, if you've never been to a Samba show, they come out in the audience and make you dance. You are part of the show. I got a little clip of this on the end. But first, the first thing we did in Rio, of course, we wanted to go to Christ on the mountain, CORCOVADO, on CORCOVADO Mountain.
Vision of, look at the size.
And it is a very long, windy road before you even get to the base camp. Well, I call it the base camp of where the statue is. It's an awful lot of walking. And unfortunately, it was raining this day, but it didn't take any of the enjoyment out of it.
We just saw this from Sugarloaf Mountain. Now we're seeing it right up close and personal.
It's really hard to describe how impressive this is in real life.
It's just the fog starting to come in again, so we're looking like we're going to just beat the time window here. In fact, it's just starting to rain as I speak.
And every view from the top of the mountain is spectacular.
We're going up the final part of the climb. The Christ on a mountain is about a 100-foot elevator.
No matter what side you look out, forward, back, reverse, it's spectacular views in every direction.
The only thing I've ever been on that's like this is Mount Washington. That's this high, or maybe it's higher, I don't know.
And this was really unbelievably impressive to see this in real life. It's hard, it's just hard to describe how impressive this really is. Looking out at every dimension, you feel like you're in an airplane, in a jet airplane or whatever. And when I did some hang gliding with Thomas, and from the top of this mountain, and maybe I'll put a couple of still photos at the end of this. I have that video posted on my channel of the hang gliding, but it was spectacular. But the city of Rio is just an unbelievably beautiful place from this high on a mountain. And as well as Sugarloaf Mountain, they're both spectacular. Just hard to believe how nice this was, even though there's rain falling, the raindrops falling on the camera lens.
No, it's not. Well, the motto of this trip has been, every time we see something, I think to myself, this is going to be a hard act to follow, and then about 2 hours later, it's followed. And this is amazing. And Howard and I are trying to figure out how they got it up here, how they made it. Of course, you can't tell, but it looks like it's, if you look real close, it's covered in some kind of tile, like mosaic tile.
Yeah. Okay. Another time. Another one.
It's enormous. Unbelievable. You can see here's an average-sized person.
Now the signs say that it's 125 feet tall. There's Thomas and Howard's wife. And thank you, Thomas. Thank you for being such a wonderful host. Of course, Karen, looking to push me off a cliff here, I think. And Kathy. Wow, the views, though, the scenery, just every part of this. And it just got better and better. And I can imagine how this would be on a day it wasn't raining. But even on a day like today, it didn't spoil this. It didn't spoil the hang gliding or the trip to Sugarloaf. Didn't spoil anything.
Not only had they made it, had they get it up here, and how did they keep it from falling over?
It would be wonderful to see how they actually did get this to the top of the mountain. If they built it on the top of the mountain in pieces, or I don't know. It's really, in real life, it's spectacular.
Karen CORCOVADO.
Take it the other way.
Karen and Kathy CORCOVADO.
Yeah.
Now it's our turn. Everybody up on the rail.
Hey, how did they make it? Balsa wood?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Little pieces of it.
Little pieces, tile. Looks like carbon fiber.
Come back. David's going to get someone to take a picture.
Well, what place were you then? Wendy?
And then it's starting to drizzle again. What a city, boy. What a city. Whew.
I knew this was going to be a hard act to follow, but the Samba show was even more of a hard act to follow. A spectacular Samba show was one of the things we really enjoyed. Thank you, Thomas. So at a Brazilian Samba show, what happens is you get done with your meal and they bring on the show. When the show is over, they come out and make you dance. They partner up and make you dance. So we had a great meal, great drinks, a great show, and then the girls come out, the guys, everybody, and they make you dance. And believe me, try saying no. It's not going to happen. This was a great memory. That CORCOVADO was a great memory. Everything about this trip was a great memory. And I'm so glad I took these pictures and this video to remind me just what a great host Thomas was. Thomas, thank you again. I keep saying that, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Brazil is an amazing, amazing place to visit. Amazing. So the next thing, you take 2 gondolas to get to the top of, they look like big giant ski lifts, to get to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain overlooking the beach here. And the view, there's monkeys, birds. It's spectacular, spectacular from the top of this mountain.
Check this out. As we're here, there's a little monkey up here. I don't know if he's a pet or whatever. Hey.
Look at that. Cute.
I'm sure he's waiting for somebody to give him a hamburger. Look at this. This is wild. We're on Sugarloaf Mountain. And how did he climb up here?
So once you get on the second gondola, you get up into the clouds, and there's monkeys running around everywhere. There's exotic birds everywhere. And of course, they're dying for you to feed them. When you look at the first cable car, it's scary to see how high up these things go. And you're basically being held up by a cable. And the birds, of course, beautiful, every one of them. And they're flying around everywhere. And these cable cars are amazing. This is a picture of the older one. They've replaced it with a newer one, but I'm not so sure about this. And this is the modern one here. But this was one of the things that I found super interesting. It was how they made this cable car. Look at this. This is the mechanism by which the cable car goes up and down. One of them, and there's 2 of them. It looks like a bunch of RD400 wheels that they painted. Karen and I had so many good memories of this trip to Brazil. It was a wonderful time of our life, and all of the scenery and being up on these mountains, and doesn't even begin to count the hang gliding. The Samba show was great. I had never been to a Samba show. To see these costumes in real life and then these girls come out and make you dance. And the monkeys, they come right up, take the food out of your hand. It was a wonderful trip. Thank you, Thomas Case, and thanks for watching.